series of mining projects worth $3 billion.
Which will create thousands of jobs and promote our economic stability and security.
And he also pledged more money.
I'm thrilled to announce that we're delivering $100 million to train the next generation of American miners, and you have a lot of you are in the room right now.
The president says the mining projects include a $1.4 billion loan agreement between the War Department and Sila Nanotechnologies to build a battery facility in Washington state. And President Trump also had some strong words today after a U.S. appeals court ruled against him on the White House ballroom, calling the ruling a horrendous, politically motivated and unlawful action. The court barred construction of the $400 million ballroom project without congressional approval. And it is giving the administration, though, 2 weeks to appeal, which President Trump says it will do. Senate confirmation for acting Attorney General Todd Blanche to become AG is hanging by a thread, but he picked up more support today from Senator Bill Cassidy of Louisiana.
Mr. Blanche is not perfect, and he will tell you this. But the choice is not between perfection and Mr. Blanche. It is between Mr. Blanche and another acting Attorney General who may not run the department effectively under President Trump.
And Republican Senator Cassidy is dismissing any differences with the president, says he will vote to confirm Blanche. Two Republican senators, Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski, say they will not vote for Blanche. If he loses any more GOP support, he will not be confirmed. And stocks in the week higher after investors bet a weaker than expected jobs report will give the Federal Reserve time to hold off on raising interest rates. The Dow up 151 points. The Nasdaq up 342. America's listening to Fox News.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil. One simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to Metamucil.com for more details.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
A Hawaii police officer faces federal charges linked to alleged chicken fighting and drug trafficking.
Michael Vaitu'ulala is charged with conspiracy to commit honest services wire fraud. The 53-year-old lieutenant with the Maui Police Department is accused of using his position to protect people who were taking part in chicken fighting and drug trafficking in exchange for money. According to the Justice Department, he's also accused of improperly sharing confidential law enforcement information, including sources, evidence photos, and details about targets of ongoing federal investigations. If convicted, he faces up to 20 years in prison, a fine of up to $250,000, and a term of supervised release. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
New York steps up its shark patrol after an increase in sightings this summer. Fox Weather's Katie Byrne reports from Lido Beach.
Nassau County's Marine Bureau patrol for sharks. So they do this work daily, and a lot of times they're actually sent out because of sightings from the shore. Those shark patrol officers are still out there right now. So maybe we'll hear an update from them at the end of the day, but we were talking to them a little bit about this because we have seen an uptick in terms of beach closures because of shark activity at New York beaches this year. New York Parks Department says there have been 45 beach closures because of shark activity. We're talking about this with officials. They seem to attribute this to cleaner water and just the fact that we have this updated technology that they can kind of keep tabs on where the sharks are at all times. But they say the most important thing to them is just keeping people safe.
And at this point in the season, New York's beach closures are nearly double what they were a year ago. And Norway's Soccer Federation calls on FIFA's embattled president, Gianni Infantino, to resign over his failed World Cup plan. I'm Carmen Roberts, and this is Fox News.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Every recruit Every current student athlete will hear this message repeatedly. We are here to win championships. If you don't want to win championships, go to Indiana.
That's exactly where you can go. To Indiana, where they have beautiful little pink houses for you and me, sir.
Well, you know the only thing that... Did you see our boy Tommy on the Pat McAfee show today?
No, what did Tommy Boilermaker do on McAfee today? Did he address that quote by chance?
He did. He came in and he said, listen, that was off the cuff. I may have flubbed it.
You think?
He said, I knew as soon as it left my mouth it did not land, but it's like golf. I teed it up on the first hole and hit it in the water, but I got 18 more holes to play. Not a great intro.
No. No. I cannot wait for Purdue to play Indiana in anything. I don't care what it is. Do they have curling in college? I want to see Indiana versus Purdue in curling, Evan Stone, just to hear the students talk a little trash.
Well, here's the thing is, to be fair, in a lot of the other sports, yeah, Purdue probably does have a leg up on Indiana. It's just the one that matters and the one that brings in all the money.
The big one.
Not so much.
Yeah, the one that just brought in to your athletic department, I don't know, $100 million or whatever it was.
Where do they play this year?
Mark Cuban donated a couple $100 million, something insane like that. You know.
Are they in
no
Bloomington?
Big deal there in Indiana,
are
that money.
they in West Lafayette?
What's a good, I don't know. I don't know, but
they are in Bloomington.
Oh boy, that's gonna be fun.
November 28th.
Okay, so we're getting into that's Thanksgiving weekend.
It's their last game always too, just like we played Northwestern. So it's always their last game. So they play in Bloomington. I'm telling you, Indiana might win by 100 points.
Fantastic.
Do you think Odom is just sitting there in the Purdue football offices like, dude, what are we doing?
I'm surprised he didn't quit.
I'm
surprised he didn't walk out today or yesterday as soon as the words left Tommy
sign
Pickles'
up for
mouth.
this.
Yeah. I didn't sign up for this one.
He's texting Kurt already. He's like, dude, listen.
Don't run the score up on us. Please don't run the score up on us over that one. All right. That wasn't my fault.
Not my fault. Hey, who are you?
What?
Who are you?
What do you mean, who am I?
We haven't done an intro yet.
Oh, good point. Haha.
We use the word Oski.
I'm Curtis Allen, and you're Evan Stone, and this is The Drive on ESPN 93.5. Wow, we didn't do an intro. We just jumped right into Purdue and the silliness from yesterday.
I'm just glad it's not us. You know, I saw a video the other day on YouTube, and now, you know, NCAA 27 came out for the video game.
Yep.
And, you know, there's all these streamers or whatever that are like, oh, I'm going to whatever. And there are a bunch of people who are like, I'm going to try and rebuild the worst team in the Big Ten. And I was just so thankful.
It wasn't us. It wasn't Illinois. It wasn't Illinois.
It is not us. It is Purdue every time.
It's beautiful. 217-359-2255 is your number for the Max Twin City Recycling text line. Thanks for spending some of your Friday with us. It's a loaded Friday show. We'll get into really only one Illini headline here in just a moment, and then we'll talk some Illini hoops with the great one. Kyle Tosk from Illini Inquirer is going to hop on in about 15 minutes or so.
There you go. Where's our 773 texter? Curtis is back and got tossed.
Yeah. Hey, where is our friend in the 773? Also, we'll do another round of random Illini players of the day. We'll do that at 3:45. Alex Patt covers the Cubs for Chi City Sports. And looking forward to this conversation because Alex has got some really interesting insight on the Cubs surging right now and what they're doing, and also some thoughts on the NL Central as a whole. We'll also preview the Redbirds back at it tonight at Busch. Cardinals baseball here on ESPN 93.5. So we got plenty of baseball to talk about, plenty of football to talk about, and Kyle Tosk as well. I know it's Friday, so we got to do our Friday toast. 217-359-2255. Heath on the Max Twin City Recycling text line. That clip will be up on Indiana's video screen right before the coin toss. You betcha it will. Oh, it's gonna be everywhere. Every time that Indiana scores, they might play that clip. Hear me out on this. What if Evan Stone somehow, some way, Purdue goes in to Bloomington and wins? Huh?
Listen, crazier things have happened.
Huh?
Like Indiana winning a national championship.
Well, that wasn't that crazy. That felt pretty on the nose last year.
Yeah.
I know that you listen. You got to let this go, man. It happened. It's over. It's all done.
No. Just in general, 3 years ago.
That's fair. Okay,
you know what?
That's fair.
So we had John Paddock was our random Illini of the day on the 4th this week. And so because of that, I went back and watched that Illinois-Indiana football game where he threw for 550 yards or whatever and won an overtime game-winning pass to Isaiah Williams. That same team just won a national championship. And they were awful.
It's fair. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. Yeah, different times. So maybe it's not that crazy, huh? Maybe there's some recruiting that went on at Purdue that we don't even know about with their football team. Maybe the Boilermakers are going to stun everybody.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not going to etch that in stone. I will etch Indiana in the points in stone right now.
Yeah.
Like, we'll just go ahead and...
Joe in Springfield says Hoosiers by 50. What do you think? You want to go ahead and lay that down now,
Yes.
a month out? Or well, I don't even,
Yeah.
It's months away. Yeah, because it's the last game of the year for Indiana Purdue in the regular season.
Empty intern chair. Can you effort this? What is the largest spread
Empty intern
in
chair.
D1 football history?
Ooh, that is a good question. Yeah, why don't we have interns on Fridays? Doggone it.
I don't know. They're lazy. This generation.
Yeah, I tell you, I try to get Pearson here. Well, then it was like, well, what am I really adding if Pearson's?
Yeah.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
My gosh. Well, I was just about to make a joke. I do for, behind the curtain. My daughter is with us again today.
Yep.
My wife, my lovely, brave, wonderful wife, has
What are you
taken
doing?
both boys to go see The Arch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why didn't she? Why not? Why didn't the little one go?
It just felt like a full day.
Why didn't the sweet one go?
Because I didn't want to go.
Ah. So it was like, okay, well, if I'm staying, so it's really if I'm staying, I'm keeping the kid that I like. Is that what you did?
No, it's no. It was 1-on-3 is a lot.
That's true.
1-on-2 of the olders is manageable. 1-on-3 with a 4-year-old is just a lot in St. Louis in the heat, and there's a rickety elevator up to the Arch.
That is true.
So the 4-year-old is with us today, and I was gonna make a joke about, well, we could just have her effort it. She'd find it just as fast as Pierce, but. Should we do that? Scarlett, can you look up what was the largest spread?
Stop. Stop. 217-359-2255. This got brought up on Twitter. Someone was like, hey, when's Coop coming back? And nephew, Coop's going to be back here with us in a couple of weeks. We've got one more week with Quintern the intern. And I'm not sure how much longer we have Pierce. As long as they don't lock him out of the building, I guess he'll just keep coming in here.
He'll just keep showing up.
But yeah, Coop will be back with us very, very soon. So that'll be awesome. And he's doing a lot of great stuff for the Champagne Room. I definitely encourage you to follow what Cooper's been working on so far this summer. He's going to be doing a lot of football and basketball for the Champagne Room. Going to be doing a lot for us as well. So it'll be great to have him back. And and Pierce lost his pro wrestling draft to me. So there's that.
We didn't even talk about that yesterday.
No, we didn't need to. It wasn't fair. It was seriously like everywhere's like 85% of the vote went to me because I took actual wrestlers and he took he took wrestlers, but
all I'm saying is nobody has a sense of humor whatsoever. But
I really thought the train was going to put it over the top there for
so
you.
did I.
Yeah.
So did I.
Mm-hmm.
I did find it. The largest spread in Division I college football history was 70.5 points. Florida State versus Savannah State in 2012.
What was the spread again? Say it one more time.
70.5. And here's this could count as a bad beat. Florida State led 55-0 in the third quarter when severe weather and lightning forced the game to be called early.
So aren't you glad that you didn't have to live through one of those? Well, that's kind of a saving grace. Like, hey, I tell you what, we would have hung a 70 burger on him, but that nasty storm rolled through.
Yeah, Joe in Springfield says keep Pearson Quinn, leave Coop out.
Oh, well, all right, Joe.
It just goes to show you can't win everyone.
You can't win everybody, Coop.
And
I'm sorry,
also,
buddy.
not everyone always is frustrated with you.
That's true.
So, it's a good life lesson.
There you go, Pierce. Somebody likes you.
Yeah. Tyler in Monticello says, one of your friends checking in here. Happy Friday, boys. Excited to hear from Kyle. Let's go, Tyler.
Hey, good to hear from you, man.
Yeah.
217 texter. I think I read in The Athletic today that Indiana has more championships in men's cross country than Purdue has in all athletic programs combined.
Well, them boys down in southern Indiana can run.
Yes, they can. And in central Indiana, too.
Well, that's Purdue, central Indiana.
I'd say they're more like north central.
Are they?
I think so.
North central? Is that like my
that's what I'm doing.
Mid-30s?
Yeah, I'm doing your bit, except with geography in the state of Indiana.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
I mean, I'm just so ready for college football to start in the first place and just get it rolling.
Did you watch any of the Hall of Fame game last night?
I did not, and I was really upset about it. But I heard it was electric.
It was fun.
Box score looking at it today.
It was fun. Yeah, it was. It wasn't, and then that's not just like, all right, well, there's NFL football back on TV. That was a fun little kickoff to preseason football, and it was fun to see that level of competition. Like there were some dogs on Uncle Lon's Cardinals that are really trying to make that roster, and the same with the Panthers. It was fun. I watched it with the kiddos. My son I was in the other room. I was getting some water, and all of a sudden I hear, oh my gosh, Daddy, all this yelling and groaning. I was like, what? He's like, he just took that guy's head off. Oh, it's unbelievable. They're going to show the replay. There was no replay. I don't know what play happened. I just know the Panthers had the ball, and somebody from Arizona made apparently the greatest tackle he had ever seen. And Larry Fitzgerald was on there as well. Fitzy going into the Hall of Fame, which was fantastic, class act, and there was a lot of good stories about Fitz and some of the things he has done philanthropy-wise since retiring from the NFL.
Did you see Larry Fitzgerald on with, I think it was Dan Patrick, talking about how he ended up at Pitt? So he's from Minnesota.
Yeah, ball boy for the Vikings.
Yeah, his dad played for Minnesota.
Yeah.
And so when he was in high school, his high school coach was like, "Hey, I'm gonna start taking you on some visits, you and a couple of the guys." And so they loaded up in the car, and as he's telling the story, he says, "So our first visit, there were a bunch of unofficials, but our first visit was to the University of Illinois, and I'm like, I can't."
Fitz could have.
And then they were, they went kind of through the Midwest a little bit, but they were on their way to Penn State, and a storm hit. As they were in Pittsburgh, a storm hit, and they closed the turnpike. They weren't letting anyone through.
So he had to go elsewhere.
So the coach was like, we're here. Let's go ahead. And he called a buddy at Pittsburgh and said, can we come? We're stuck here. Can we check out? They'd never heard of Larry Fitzgerald. He goes over, and so Dan Patrick was like, so you only ended up at Pitt because of a rainstorm? He said, absolutely. I never had any thoughts of ever even looking at
amazing story.
Pittsburgh. And there it is. But his first unofficial visit was to Illinois.
That's because there's a world where it's possible at some point where the Illini could have had Aaron Rodgers under center and had Larry Fitzgerald at wide receiver in college.
That universe exists.
That could have happened. That's in who was it? Turner that didn't want Rodgers or something like that. So that's how he ended up at Cal. Is that the story?
Almost. To be fair, nobody wanted Aaron Rodgers. Kind of like today. Nobody wanted Aaron Rodgers.
Villain arc right there.
And he ended up going to JUCO, and then after JUCO, he ended up at Cal and became what he is.
Yeah.
So I can't.
Insufferable is what he ended up being.
Well, yeah. I can't blame Ron Turner too much because it's like, okay, Ron Turner, no college coach was looking at him like, yeah, that's the guy. So there are misses. I'm not sure that counts as a miss.
Yeah, I've heard him bring it up more than once that he had a visit with Illinois and
that he wanted to go to Illinois.
And he wanted, that's fine. That's fine.
But he had 0 offers.
It's fine.
It's like I want to go to Illinois.
You know what? I'm surprised they didn't recruit you.
Well,
their loss, right, buddy?
Yeah. I found out it helps to stay on the football team all through high school.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, that's a key component to being recruited.
We're gonna do Friday Toast today as well. Like I said, we've got a nice lineup including Alex Pat from Shy City Sports is going to hop on with us and talk Cubs and what they've been doing over the last, I'm going to say, several months. So it was a hot start, an incredible slump, and then right back on this awesome tear for the Cubs right now. Also talk some Cardinals baseball. Redbirds taking 2 of 3 from the Yankees, trying to get back to 500. Tonight we'll have Cardinals baseball here on ESPN 93.5 this evening. And again, Friday Toast, we'll do Illinois football positional breakdown. What are we breaking down today? Are we doing linebackers today?
That's what you wanted to do.
That's what I wanted to do. I was just making sure. And speaking of which, your random Illini players of the day, we'll do that at 3:45. The great one from Illini Inquirer, our friend and yours, Kyle Tosk, up next on The Drive.
Look, honey, great deal on kitchen appliances. Man, oh man, this is a can't miss opportunity. I'm getting the car keys.
Whoa, big fella. What store is this?
It's the membership store. You know, the one where you can buy 60 rolls of toilet paper shrink wrapped to a pallet?
Those memberships are expensive. What do they know about kitchen appliances?
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, you don't need a membership.
It's Paul Regan from Dick Van Dyke.
So, who gets the best deals?
Everyone. Plus, we have award-winning service to take care of you years after the sale. No membership required.
This membership store has to have service. I mean, they're so big. They sell groceries.
Nope, no service at the membership store.
You're right, no service department.
Too risky to buy there.
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World gives you award-winning service from sales to install to repairs, no membership fees, and the guaranteed best deal.
Impressive. How did you find our house?
Appliance guy intuition.
Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Pia Sports Bar and Grill is your place to watch Major League Baseball games and enjoy pitchers of your favorite beer, including Coors Light, Yingling Lager, Yingling Flight, and Miller Lite, home of the Slugger Burger. Meet friends on the patio and watch your favorite sports on multiple flat-screen TVs. If your team is looking to gather after the game, that's been a Pia's tradition since 1975. Pia's, open early with Big Tito's Bloody Marys. Pia's Sports Bar and Grill, 1609 West Springfield Avenue in Champaign.
Let your local Farmers Insurance agent Michael Rumsey put his experience to work for you. Michael Rumsey proudly serves Champaign County families and businesses and is ready to review your existing policies or provide a no-obligation quote today. Call Michael Rumsey at 217-363-3030 to get smarter about your insurance. Again, that's Michael Rumsey at 217-363-3030. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
This is XYZ Insurance. How can I help?
I have a question about my home policy.
Okay, question about phone policy.
Home policy.
Okay, gnome policy.
HOME, home.
Technology is great, but sometimes it's better to talk with a real person. With Erie Insurance, you have a caring, independent agent who's with you from beginning to end.
We don't have any HOMEs on record.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
Iron Horse Golf Course in Tuscola. Enjoy the special on Tuesdays and Thursdays as you tee off before 2. $30, 18 holes with a cart. Check out the improvements at Iron Horse Golf Course in Tuscola. A great event space for birthdays, receptions, anniversaries, and reunions. Free carts on Mondays. 2000 Iron Horse Drive in Tuscola. Call the Pro Shop at 217-253-6644. Iron Horse Golf Course in Tuscola.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Oh, yeah, Chief. What's going on? It's ESPN Radio 93.5. This is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. A little nugget you just mentioned from the world of the NFL. Who got into a fight at camp today?
Quite the scuffle between Kirk Cousins and Max Crosby.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So the story goes that Max Crosby came through and for the second time on the day, I guess, hit Cousins' arm, and Cousins had enough and got in his face and grabbed his jersey and was yelling at him and pushing him around. He's trying to prove to people that
do you remember
I still got it.
You remember the old cartoons where it was like the little itty bitty tiny bulldog and then the gigantic bulldog?
Yeah.
Spike. He's like, come on, Spike, put him on Spike. We're going to do this, right, Spike? Come on, Spike. Come on, buddy. Yeah, that's kind of what happened there. Our next guest, wouldn't do that. He's not like that at all. In fact, he gets his own entrance music and own intro music entrance, intro, whatever.
Whatever you want.
We made a theme song for him because he's the great one.
Nobody knows Illini basketball like the great and powerful Tosk.
Our guy from Illini Inquirer, the one, the only, Kyle Tosk is on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us. Hello, Kyle. How are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Doing all right. It's my birthday today, and all I wanted for my birthday was you on the show. So here, I got my wish. That's what I booked you for today specifically, just to talk with Kyle on my birthday.
Today's your birthday?
Yeah, you knew that, and you forgot.
Well,
That's
happy birthday. I would imagine that there are probably quite a few things that you actually wanted more than that, but I appreciate the kind words anyway. I hope you have a great day.
I'll see you at the birthday party later, just like I saw you at your graduation party, sir. Here's where I want to start, and it might be old hat at this point in the week, but I haven't got a chance, and we haven't had a chance to talk with you about David Mirkovic's his poor foot. And the foot injury that rocked Illini fans of the summer, it's up there, buddy, on the major stories. Is this anything that you have any concern about lingering, or is this just kind of basketball stuff in the summer?
I think in terms of the injury itself, I think there's optimism from Illinois' standpoint that it will not impact the regular season much, if at all. I think just the timing in which it happened last week, July 31st, that's over 3 months from when Illinois is going to suit up to play a regular season game. So I think, and as far as a recovery timeline, I think Illinois is hopeful that they can get him back on the court before the season starts, and hopefully it won't linger too much beyond that. But I do think, it's not something you brush off, because it is definitely going to impact Illinois. David Mirkovic is not going to be on the court for probably at least a majority of the fall. I mean, that's the most important time of the season in terms of starting to build up towards your regular season and establishing your identity. And David Mirkovic was kind of the biggest part of Illinois' identity coming into the season. Illinois was building this team around him. Everything I had heard about David Mirkovic was that he had a monster summer, and Illinois was prepared to really unleash him as a superstar. Not that that's something that we didn't necessarily expect, but I think Illinois was adding more and more responsibility to him in terms of offense and kind of how they were going to build how this team ends up looking. So that definitely hurts, because now you don't have that guy. Now you're going to look a little bit different as you kind of start building up to the season. I do think it opens up the opportunity for other guys, namely a guy like Stefan Vox, who now is going to take on kind of that lead playmaking role now as you push forward into the season. I think Andrei Stojakovic, Thomas Slavicevic, those guys now will kind of step up in terms of their roles as well as you go on. So I think it can help those guys a little bit, but it definitely hurts for Illinois to not have him for some really important time here coming up. But I think the hope is that at some point, maybe 6 to 8 weeks from now, you start to get him working his way back in. And never say never in terms of this lingering or what could happen in terms of the recovery, but I think Illinois hopes that it won't impact the actual season all that much.
Yeah, and honestly, I was going to go to who steps up now. And so you kind of covered, Stefan Vox and Tom, like all the known guys that are on the roster that might, their role elevates a little bit. Maybe they'll have the ball in their hands a little more. Offense will run through them a little bit differently. But what about just simply minutes played in the early on? Is there another guy that you think benefits is such a weird word to say in this moment, but another guy who maybe wasn't going to get a ton of minutes early on that maybe will get more because of this?
I think it could be a number of guys. I think that's something that is going to play out during the fall. I think, especially you look at the freshmen, I mean, that's the group. Quentin Coleman's obviously going to be a big part of the rotation. The other 5 freshmen are all going to have a chance now to have their roles increase, their trust increase. There's already kind of been a battle brewing as we head into the fall, if David was healthy, for that 8th spot in the rotation. That you normally go 8 deep, sometimes go deeper than that, of course, but that's usually what it shortens to in Brad Underwood's important games. And there was already kind of a battle brewing between some of the freshmen there. Now you lose a big minute guy. Now, again, hopefully Illinois is hoping that maybe he doesn't miss any regular season time. But if he does, and even as you're kind of piecing it together in the fall. I think Lincoln Williams is a guy I look at. He's a guy who, what I've heard, has had a really big summer. Illinois has had a lot of trust in him and what he's put forth during the summer with his defensive work, some of his versatility. I think he's a guy that could step up and potentially be asked to do a little bit more. I think Lucas Murillo, somebody who missed a little bit of time early in the summer with a back injury and has been kind of working his way back and been a little bit behind a few of the other freshmen. I think still with his pedigree, like that's a guy with the size, with some of the versatility he has, maybe ask a little bit more of him. And then I think there is an opportunity. I'm not expecting, if David Mirkovic does miss games in the regular season or is limited, I'm not expecting either of these two guys to play a big role. But I think there is a role that could open up for both Jason Jaxtis or Landon Davis, because you look kind of just positionally on Illinois' roster. David Mirkovic, the power forward position, if you want to call it that, kind of the one spot Illinois didn't have a true backup that was expected to be in the rotation. Those are the two guys that have real front court size and share some similarities from that standpoint. So I'm not expecting like Illinois to start either of those guys, but could either of those guys emerge as somebody Illinois can trust a little bit off the bench? I think all those guys are going to kind of have to compete for that now that David's out.
Good stuff. ESPN Radio 93.5, it is The Drive. Kyle Tosk from Illini Inquirer on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us. Kyle, I want to bring up something you just tweeted out a moment ago, and that is the return of Darian Williams to Texas Tech. That just announced 25 minutes ago. It's official now, and you just said significant addition for Illini's first big non-conference opponent on November 10th. I know the diehard Illini fans, they're familiar with this and have maybe been following it a little closer, but for folks that are not, how significant is Williams returning to Texas Tech and the challenges he might present once we get into basketball season and the rubber meets the road in November?
Yeah, he's a really good player. He was outstanding for Texas Tech on that team that went to the Elite Eight 2 years ago there. It's one of their best players, if not their best player, especially in the NCAA tournament. Went to NC State last year, had kind of a rocky year for a rocky team, and is now heading back home now that the whole eligibility craziness is going on. Who knows who's available, who's not, and who's jumping back into college. That should be a nightmare to monitor for the next couple months, but he's one of those guys now that's taking advantage of it. And that's huge because Texas Tech is, when you look at that matchup compared to some of the other teams on Illinois' schedule in the non-conference, they're kind of the biggest unknown. They just have so many new pieces there. JT Toppin is not going to be available early in the season. I know he's working his way back, but Grant McCaslin said sometime recently here that would probably be more middle of the season than it would be early in the season. So, Dre Gibbs Lawhorn's one of those guys that's going to be a big part of that, so that'll be interesting to see. But just a new team, a lot of new pieces, a lot of unknowns there. Now you get a guy who's been really successful there. I think it's going to be a big-time piece for them, and Darian Williams, just a big-bodied kind of playmaking wing who can play with the ball in his hands, can play off the ball, do a lot of different things for them, and obviously is familiar with their system there. So that's a big addition, makes Texas Tech, especially knowing that they're going to be without JT Toppin for that game, makes that a lot more difficult of a game now for Illinois, especially on the road.
Well, I love your breakdowns, and I love the way that you are able to watch something and see how it all works together. So I'm just wondering if I can get a little bit of your breakdown, because I don't know how I'd missed this. I just saw this. Curtis, you tweeted it today. Andre Curbelo made his debut in professional wrestling, and I'm not sure if you've seen this. I'm seeing this video for the first time in my life. Do you have any insights into what you saw?
I haven't seen. I saw somebody sent this to me earlier, and I didn't watch it yet. Here's what I'll say about that. Knowing kind of where things went for Andre Curbelo towards the end of his kind of college basketball run there, not super surprised to see this. I don't think. This kind of is just fitting. I think this makes a lot of sense as his next career path here.
Listen, let me try to do my best Kyle Tosk with this. Curbelo has a basketball in the clip. Now, I don't know if this will do it justice, but he's got a basketball. He climbs to the top rope. Another wrestler is holding a fishing net like it's the hoop. Curbelo dives from the top rope to the floor, slam dunks the ball in the fishing net, and 5 guys are waiting for him on the floor to catch him, and he knocks them all down. That is, and I think it's a group called Game Changer Wrestling.
I don't know. Full disclosure, I just saw it. You just saw it. A texter just texted in and said the Curbelo thing isn't real. So it might be real, but it might not be our Andre. But I thought that was hilarious. Okay, real question, Kyle.
It's real, baby.
So officially, a couple days ago, Illinois announced that their non-conference schedule is complete. They announced their final opponent, which I'm sorry, I'm blanking right now on. It's just another one. You know what I mean? There had been rumblings of another marquee opponent. Do you have any insight on any of that, or is it just kind of is what it is?
So I know that there was a report earlier this week that Illinois was going to play Western Kentucky. Illinois has not officially announced their schedule to this point. But what I will say is that Illinois had been trying for a while they'd been in conversations with a handful of different teams from what I've heard, or that Black Friday date or that Black Friday weekend to try to add another marquee opponent. There was a couple that came close that didn't end up happening. And so I do think I have no reason to question that reporting. I'll just add the caveat that it hasn't been officially announced yet. But, I think, look, Illinois is pretty loaded up here with marquee opponents. They wanted to add another one. I don't think, from what I've heard, nothing's been finalized yet. But what I can say is that they had some things kind of that had gotten close that didn't end up necessarily coming to fruition for that Black Friday weekend. So could still be looking there. But, I have no reason to question that report. I think that's probably what it's going to end up being.
So then an interesting question and I know a lot of fans talk about this or whatever, specifically or especially season ticket holders, when you look at a non-conference schedule and, all the marquee games are out of Champaign. There is home and homes, I get that. But at the same time, do you think Underwood necessarily cares a lot about when he looks at this schedule and who he's got coming into Champaign, or is he truly just hey, we'll just play anybody. I don't really care where we play. Let's just get on the court.
I think there's a mixture of both there. Brad has said in the past and multiple times that he prefers home and homes over anything. He wants to see those stick around. He always is looking to schedule those. And he's talked about the importance to the fans, like having a marquee opponent come to Champaign. He sees a lot of value in that. I think for this schedule, it just didn't end up working out that way. You had Texas Tech come in last year. You're going to have Duke coming in next year. Illinois had Tennessee the year before. They played Arizona and Champaign. They're going to continue to try to make that happen. I think just the way that this schedule ended up working out, the opportunities that were available with the Duke game, and kind of just how that series ended up coming together, and then Texas Tech obviously being the return game from last year, just didn't end up working out for them to get a game here at home. But I don't think that's necessarily an indication that that's not going to be a big part of Illinois' scheduling philosophy going forward. I think if they have it their way, they'd like to have one, at least, big-time non-conference opponent come to Champaign every year. And for the most part, that's been the case, but certainly it will be disappointing to not have that be the case this year.
Yeah, I think that was just kind of, okay, is this just how the calendar fell and just how it worked out this year, or is it a new philosophy of, hey, we'll go, whatever? So good to hear, because I love when marquee opponents come to Champaign.
Absolutely.
I love just getting to see people in person or teams in person that you don't get to see very often. And so that's good stuff. So, Kyle, if I were to right now ask you as we wrap this up and let you go, because I know you got to go get Curtis's birthday gift, but
yes, he does.
If I were to ask you right now on a scale of 1 to 10, your confidence level in this Illinois basketball team and its roster as it sits, before any sort of real workouts, practices, games happen, where would your confidence level be?
Probably at a 9. I think this is ranked as pretty consensus top 5 team in the country going into next year for a reason. To have the 5 returners that Illinois has from last year, and so much continuity there. Also the continuity of the staff, which I think gets overlooked a lot. Even going into last year, you had a pretty big change there with Cam Crocker coming in, and I think it took Illinois some time last year to kind of adapt, especially on the defensive side of the ball, to that and kind of get more comfortable with him. So I think that's another underrated piece of it, to have so much roster continuity comparatively throughout the country, to have the staff continuity that Illinois has, and then to add the talent that they've added as well. I'm really, really high on this new backcourt in Stephen Box and Quinn Coleman. Both guys are really talented future NBA players, in my opinion, that might take a little bit of time for them to kind of fully mesh into things. But I think, once you get down into Big Ten play and into the games that matter late in the year, I think those guys are going to be really good. And we know for the most part what's coming back. Obviously, the Dobbin Mirkovic injury throws a little bit of a wrench into that, but based on what I've heard, that hopefully should not have a huge impact beyond maybe November, if anything. So I'm really high in Illinois. I think right now, especially with Dusty May gone from Michigan, I think Illinois should be the preseason Big Ten favorite. I think they should be a preseason top 5 team in the country. I think they should absolutely have goals to get back to where they were last year in the Final Four. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy to get there, but Illinois has the team to do it. I feel really good about it. But obviously still some things that will have to come together, and some new things that will have to mesh, and there's certainly still some questions, especially on the defensive side. But just a really, really talented team, a lot of future pros, really, really good coaching staff. I feel great about it.
Kyle, fantastic stuff. Great talking with you. Let's do this again next week, and then we can debate PCA versus Shohei for the MVP award this year, okay?
I am definitely down for that. I can go to bat for my guy PCA.
There you go.
Let's go, baby.
Awesome.
There you go.
He's your NL MVP for my money.
And it's KTosk13 on the socials, correct?
Yes.
Yes, that
After
is it.
he just made a statement, PCA is the MVP, and you're handing out his handles. So
Well, yeah,
is that so
well,
people can go and
and harass it?
That's where you
Oh,
can yell at me.
no.
Dodger fans. Do you have
Well,
any
Dodger
Dodger
fans.
fans? No, actually, I shouldn't say that, because it's. I don't think the St. Louis Cardinal fan base is our big Pete Crow Armstrong fans either. I know there's a lot of those guys out there.
Well, and here's the thing: we need your Twitter healthy. You're holding it down for the Illini Inquirer game right now. So if you can just keep that as healthy as possible, that'd be good.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
All right, man. We'll talk to you again real soon. All right, Kyle?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys.
You got it. That's our guy. The great one, Kyle Tosk, on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line, 217-359-2255. For the Mac Twin City Recycling text line, and I'm telling you, the Curbelo thing is as real as I want it to be, okay? It's my birthday. It's my birthday. I want it to be real. Thank you for the birthday wishes, by the way, Tyler and Monticello. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, and that's the way that kind of our culture works now is I want it to be real, so you know what?
It's real.
It's real.
It's as real as I want it to be, buddy.
Yeah.
That guy in the video has the same hair as Curbelo. He's wearing a basketball jersey. He dunked it. It happened out east, I think. Isn't that where Curbelo is right now? Isn't he out east?
I don't know.
He's out east. It's real.
Now.
All right, it's real. That's it. Nobody can tell me otherwise. 217-359-2255. Big shout out to Not Carmen and Fisher. It's so nice to hear your guys' voice. I've been working in Cleveland the last 2 weeks, and I am very tired of hearing about the awful QB competition between Shadur and Watson. And also a happy birthday wish to me. Thank you, Not Carmen. Yeah, we don't even need to talk about the quarterback situation in Cleveland ever. There's 30 quarterbacks on that roster now, I'm pretty sure.
You missed my hot take with Quinn.
I got to hear it now. What is it?
I think Deshaun Watson is going to be the starting quarterback in Cleveland, and I think he's going to show that he's still Deshaun Watson. The good one.
Yucky,
on the field.
Is that a word?
On the field.
No.
Not off the field.
No.
On the field.
No.
So.
I can't ride with you on that one.
You don't have to. That's why it's a hot take.
Here's
why it's a hot take.
By the way, this story, since we're talking starting quarterbacks, this is more something you might care about because it's in the NFC North, that Kyler Murray is being called in some outlets in Minnesota the unquestioned starter, that he's the guy. Did they do J.J. McCarthy dirty, sir?
I don't think that's doing J.J. McCarthy dirty. I think J.J. McCarthy did himself dirty by trying to play quarterback.
Come on, man.
He's not.
Come on,
we also
man.
joked about this the other day. There was a Minnesota reporter said audible groans from Vikings fans as J.J. McCarthy overthrows his third straight receiver into goal situation on a fade. Like, I think as soon as Kyler went there, and this is what we saw with J.J. even last year, it's like, okay, he has flashes. Like, there's little moments where you're like, ooh, that's like,
His best game as a pro was the first game he had against the Bears.
The comeback. And that's not even a game. It was his best quarter. Because the first half of that game was awful.
It was a pretty rough game. But the second half, it was a tale of two halves.
And then as the year just kept going, I don't think anybody looked at J.J. McCarthy and was like, yeah, that's the franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
It's not.
It feels more of a...
It's not.
No, it was kind of a sham competition. You brought in Kyler for, on a 1-year prove-it deal, but yeah.
Did you see?
I was curious what your thoughts were on that.
Somebody posted the other day, Saquon was out there with his kids after a practice, and he jumped over one of his kids.
Saquon Barkley?
Yeah, he's like a 5-year-old, jumped over one of his kids, and somebody retweeted it and said, breaking, Saquon jumping over Kyler Murray.
I did see an AI video. Since we're talking Kyler Murray and Vikings. It looked like a minion. It's Kyler Murray as a minion running around in the backfield while the Vikings defenders are chasing him. And then it's like the Packers defenders are chasing. And then it's the Bears that it's Kyler Murray playing this year. Here's Kyler Murray in practice, and he's a little minion running around. Here he is against the Bears. Here he is against the Packers.
It's too good.
Come on now.
It's too good. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to take this one for the team.
What?
Because it's your birthday.
What are you doing?
First of all, the amount of texts that are coming in saying happy birthday, Curtis, I hope you know how loved you are.
Oh, stop it.
No, people love you, Curtis. And because it's your birthday, I'm going to tell people this right now. Curtis spells his name with a K. It is Kurtis. Curtis.
It's okay. It's
because he strikes people out with a K. And he's not a well, I can't say that word on radio.
What word were you going to say? I don't know what word it could have been. We don't have a dump button though. Remember that. You've even hit the dump. It says right here
no
it's on.
C because we can't cuss.
Oh, yeah.
Curtis with a K because he strikes him out. No C because we can't cuss on the air.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So there we go.
I follow.
That's how you remember.
That's how you, yeah.
Now, ultimately...
Or just that it's spelled, you just think of Kurt Russell. Russell.
I'm going to tell you right now, Curtis never cared one bit about any of that. I think I did.
About what? My name?
Your name being spelled with a C.
Oh, man, people have been spelling my name with a C my whole life. And that's the more common way of spelling Curtis is with a C. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And so I more than once have.
But you're not common.
I am not. I'm an odd duck, as they say.
You're so not common. You didn't spell your name with a C. You're uncommon.
I didn't pick it. That was
common with a K.
No. No. Common. I was about to say.
I was about to say you still C.
Yeah. Common. The rapper still spells his with a C. Yeah. Nope. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate, and I really do appreciate all the birthday wishes.
Are you 1? Are you 2? Are you 3?
What
are
you?
you 4?
What is that?
Are you 5?
I don't know what that one is.
You don't know that one? You have kids.
Yeah, no, I don't know that one. But I did learn. Have you heard the there's a cat licking your birthday cake song? It's like a minute long.
Oh my gosh, no.
Yes, and my daughter played that for me this morning.
Oh,
it's 60 seconds. Feels like it's about 90 minutes.
Have you gone through the It's Raining Tacos?
Oh, yeah. We did that a few years ago.
You know
It's
my
Raining
favorite?
Tacos. Oh, yeah.
That's good. It's Raining Tacos. Just close your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Open your mouth.
It's a Raining Tacos. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went through the Raining Tacos phase.
There's some lyrics in these kids' songs where you're like...
Hold on. Wait a minute now. Hold on. Who wrote that? Who wrote that?
There used to be... so Blippi. Did you ever go through the Blippi phase?
Thank God, no, because oh, man.
I'm going to tell you, I hated Blippi for a long time, and then I was like, you know what? This guy's kind of good at what he does. But he has a truck song about a backhoe.
I'm familiar.
Singing about being a hoe operator.
Another friend of mine and his daughter is a big fan of that song. Yep.
Yeah. He knows what he's doing.
Oh. By the way, my niece took her daughters to see Blippi live. I think tickets for that were just, it was as insane as anything else. You know what I mean? Like any major concerts that you've seen going
was
around.
it actually Blippi?
Yeah, it was the real Blippi.
Because we went to see Blippi here in town, and it was not the real
Are you
Blippi.
saying you had a counterfeit Blippi experience?
I don't even know if it counted as a counterfeit Blippi. That guy was the mall Santa in, if you...
fake Blippi, huh?
Dude, it was Decatur mall Santa Blippi, all right? I was like, this is not...
Did he have a Marlboro hanging out? Yeah,
I was about to say,
I'm Blippi.
There was a puff of smoke as he came back on stage and stumbled around. Do you think right now, could you guess Blippi's net worth?
Oh, it's got to be hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, every generation has that whatever, like Barney or, what were the 4 or 5 dolls? Teletubbies, that was a thing in the early 2000s.
Care Bears.
Yeah, Blippi now.
Wiggles.
Bluey. I can only imagine how much Bluey is worth.
Well, it's not. Well, Bluey's not a real
person. I'm talking about the creators of Bluey. I'm just saying the enterprise that is Bluey, how much it could be worth now.
Blippi, Stephen John. Hey, he spells his name Stephen, Stevin.
Fancy.
He's worth up to $90 million.
I believe it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's after taxes.
Why are we talking about this?
I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why we got on a Blippi roll.
BLIPPI.
217-359-2255 for the Max Twin City Recycling text line. I do, in all sincerity, I do appreciate all the birthday wishes, you guys and gals. I love you. Appreciate it very, very much. I also appreciate the commitment you've had to our random Illini players of the day. And since it is the 7th, that means we've got a number 7 on the way, and then a player who wore a number 32 or higher. It's got to be it. 32 or higher. Any guesses who it might be today? Let us know on the Max Twin City Recycling text line at 217-359-2255. Your random Illini football players of the day coming up next on The Drive.
Racing, racing, racing. Come on out to Farmer City Raceway every Friday night to watch Racing Under the Lights. Gates open at 4 p.m., hot lap 6:30, qualifying 7, and racing at 7:30. On Friday, on the track and under the lights, you'll see Farmer City's Lucas Oil late models, $2,000 modifieds, and kids mods. General admission for veterans is $10, adults is $15, and kids 12 and under are free. Friday night lights at Farmer City Raceway. You'll buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Think you have to settle for mediocre car insurance to save money? Think again. It's possible to get superior coverage and still save money with Erie Insurance. Customers who switched to Erie saved up to $951. It pays to compare. Switch and save with Erie.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Annual savings based on new customers surveyed in March 2022 who reported savings when switching auto insurance. Individual premiums and savings will vary.
Life is short, so why not put dessert first? At Dessert First, every day starts sweet with a delicious morning menu featuring fresh muffins, gooey cinnamon rolls, and homemade pastries. And in the afternoon, it only gets better with cookies, brownies, and rotating treats that change weekly. Got a special occasion coming up? Dessert First has you covered with custom orders including cupcakes, pies, cakes, and cookies made just the way you want them. Treat yourself today because you deserve it. Find Dessert First on Facebook for store hours and more details.
Actually, I called the provider. It was just going to be a while before I could have service, and I couldn't wait, so I was recommended to Classic. Professionalism, their dependability, credibility, and the service technicians, I wouldn't ever call anybody else.
I truly believe that after people have experienced other companies and then given us a try, they can clearly see the difference.
Visit ClassicPlum.com.
When time matters, proximity counts. And now you have more options than ever. Fly Champaign-Urbana and start your trip on schedule. With American Airlines and beginning soon, new service on United Airlines, Connect through Chicago or Dallas to business centers across the country and around the world, with flights available to book today. Be efficient, be connected, be home sooner. Fly Champaign-Urbana, Willard Airport.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Hope you're having a fantastic Friday. It is ESPN Radio 93.5. This is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. Evan, you mentioned a couple little Chicago Bears nuggets that just came across the news wire.
Yep, so the Bears officially, this came across maybe 20-ish minutes ago. Because of the Kobe Bryant injury, I can only assume, they have signed free agent safety Xavier Woods, who started 10 games for the Titans last year, had a couple picks. Jacob Infante, friend of the show, just tweeted that according to Pro Football Network free agent tracker, he was the highest rated available safety in the NFL. So,
all right.
Little move they did there. And then this happened actually a couple of days ago, but TJ Edwards has officially been removed from he's been activated.
Was he on the PUP list?
Whatever, yeah.
The PUP list?
I don't know if I understand, because there's PUP, then there's IR.
The unable to perform list.
There's the yeah.
If only
it's like, what's the difference?
If only we had Quintern the intern here to look that up for us real quick.
Yeah, we don't.
Or Pierce the Fierce to ignore us. I don't know. Well, that was, a couple of interesting Bears nuggets there. Appreciate you sharing that. Also, I'm so ready for this, man. I got to get the music queued up. Where did it go? I feel like I just had it. Oh, there it is. There it is. Our random Illini football players of the day. Hey, is movie night tonight on
tomorrow?
That's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow,
at Geese
7
Memorial
p.m.
Stadium. Okay. I might check that out with the kiddos.
Yeah.
Might.
It's a
large
hooking
screen.
them up.
Yeah, why not? Turn them loose.
Yeah.
The kids are going to run around on the field anyways, you know?
We'll make it. So.
It'll just be me and you and Merck watching Airbud. That's it. Otherwise, thousands of children just running all over the stadium, not really paying attention. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I got way off track there.
I was about to say, I'll yell at some kids.
I know you will. Let's get into it right now with our random Illinois football players of the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming in. I thought you were going to finish that for me.
Is he standing?
Standing at 6'3", 215 pounds. He is from Chicago Heights, Illinois. Went to Homewood Flossmoor.
Oh, I know that high school.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 7, Shuposani.
That is the name I don't even... Wow, I haven't heard that in forever.
Suposani was a defensive back. Went to Homewood Flossmoor. Came in. He was the top 15 player in the state of Illinois. His freshman year, played in all 12 games.
I mean, we're going back like 14 years, right? 15 years, something like that?
Freshman year was 2008. So he played for the Illini 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011.
Goodness.
Unfortunately, had a string of injuries. But 2009, his sophomore year, played in 11 games, made 11 tackles, 1 pass breakup on the season. And then his junior year, he had to sit out because he was going to come in as the starting safety.
Right.
But he ruptured his right Achilles in August and ended up having to sit out the year. And then 2011, he played in all 13 games, started 11 games, made 49 tackles on the season, 2 tackles for a loss, 5 pass breakups, and 1 pick. And he was just kind of a stalwart at the back end of that 2011 team that went to the they started 6-0.
Yeah, that was a rough year.
Finished 0-6.
I mean, they got to the...
Yeah. So Shubo Sani played in the Kraft Fight Hunger Bowl.
Yeah,
was a part of that defense, that Vic Koenig defense that was pretty good in 2011 in certain moments. So, ladies and gentlemen, your random Illini of the day, number 7, Shubo Sani.
And do you know what he's doing these days, sir?
I do not.
He is an IT professional in the greater Chicago area. I don't know what company he works for.
How do you become an IT professional?
Well, you got to know a thing or two about computers.
Are there IT amateurs?
Yeah, those are just like I'm an IT amateur.
Okay.
Like I know just enough to keep this on the air. But if something really breaks, we call Supo and he'd come and fix it.
That's fair by me. Ladies and gentlemen, coming in,
standing,
6'5", 305 pounds.
Oh, you're speaking my language.
Whoo! Big old boy from Jacksonville, Illinois. He was the number 1 offensive lineman recruit in the state of Illinois, the number 2 overall prospect in the state of Illinois. He was ranked the number 12 offensive lineman nationally by Scout, number 18 by Rivals, number 20 by ESPN.com. He was a top 300 player nationally, consensus 4-star recruits. Ladies and gentlemen, your random Illini of the day, number 72, Gabe Megginson. Gabe Megginson, he redshirted in 2015. He played in 10 games with 7 starts on the offensive line in 2016 as a sophomore, primarily as a guard. Started tackle once. Played in all 12 games with 4 starts as a junior in 2017. All on the offensive line. Started at guard twice, tackle once, and as a 6th lineman once. I don't know how you start as a 6th lineman, but that happened. Unfortunately, following the 2017 season as a junior, he ended up transferring. He was one of the main big-time recruits of the Tim Beckman era. He's probably the highest-rated recruit of the Tim Beckman era.
Yep.
There was so much hype. Downstate kid showing up, 4-star recruit. He was an awesome interview if you ever got to listen to any of his interviews. Just never really kind of panned out, which a lot of people in those teams never really panned out that much. Ended up transferring to Illinois State University, where he became an all Missouri Valley Conference newcomer. Where are we at? Anchored the conference's 3rd best scoring offense. He started 11 games as their left guard. He paved the way for future NFL running back James Robinson and helped him rush for a league-leading 1,290 yards, 12 touchdowns. And then 2019, unfortunately, he started 2 games, but then his season was cut short due to a severe back injury, which, Curtis, plug your ears, he needed major surgery.
Oh, buddy.
On his back. But ladies and gentlemen, the hype machine was real when he showed up in Champaign, number 72, Gabe Megginson.
And by the way, Gabe now works in sales, a sales rep for Stryker with a Y. Stryker is a global leader in medical technologies.
I feel like I've heard of that company.
Stryker, maybe. Yeah, they're out of Michigan. And I feel like if you were to see the logo, you'd be like, okay, I've seen their stuff. But yeah, they sell medical equipment throughout the Midwest.
I think I had a former student who graduated and went to work for Stryker. I think that's how I've heard of them.
Was it Gabe?
No.
Oh, just curious.
No, this guy was a little smaller.
Those that they be your random Illini football players of the day. 217-359-2255 for the Max Twin City Recycling text line. We've got plenty of text to get to. We appreciate you. We're going to do a position breakdown in the next 35 minutes, and we're looking at Illinois linebackers on this year's roster. Also, coming up in, we'll say about 5 minutes, Alex Pat is going to be joining us from Chi City Sports, going to talk Cubs their season so far, and the NL Central as well. So looking forward to that. That is coming up next on The Drive.
You know, with like Lands Inc., we specialize in, we've got an amazing HVAC department that takes care of your furnace, you know, your heat system, air conditioning, they do
pumps,
that.
yeah.
And for us in Underground, we take care of all your pipes that come into your home, leave your home, and work around your home to keep it dry, you know, your drainage system, sump pumps, things like that. And exactly what you said, if you don't know, you know, a couple decades ago, it was more like, oh, something broke, go fix it, repair it, no big deal. Well, now with the technology, we have cameras, like you said, that we can come in on these Orange Comfort Clubs, and we can camera your sewer lines underneath your house and check them out just to make sure they're fine. If there's something wrong with it, we can show you right then. You know, truth is in seeing it.
Yeah.
We show it to you, and then you can plan as a homeowner for making those repairs or dealing with that issue later on. If it's an immediate need, at least you're not caught off surprise.
That sewer camera inspection with a proper clean out. I was just learning more at landsinc.com.
Hi, this is Steve from Good Vibes, where we love tech, especially tech that takes it to another level. Sony has just raised the bar for next level video with true RGB. Red, green, and blue, that's all it stands for. But what makes it stand out is that each pixel contains all three colors, each controlled individually. It takes massive processing to do that, and Sony has the best processors. So you get the color range of QD OLED, the brightness of Mini LED, plus the contrast and viewing angle of OLED rolled into one stylish chassis. I saw a demo of just the backlighting of a Sony RGB versus the competition. Even with no panel, the Sony was watchable. The other guys were just blobs of light. With the panel, the Sony picture was sharper and more nuanced. So real you could step right into the screen. If you want sports and movies to look real, come to Good Vibes and see the Sony True RGBs. The Bravia 7s are surprisingly affordable, and the Bravia 9s have the best ever anti-glare solution. Sony True RGB is the new sheriff in TV town.
Looking for your new favorite hangout? Head to Route 45 Wayside in Pasodum. They're open 7 days a week with daily food specials that keep things fresh and affordable. And Sundays? It's Sunday Fun Day from 1 to 4 with live entertainment that brings the party to life. Don't miss their massive 8,000 square foot patio, perfect for kicking back with friends. Feeling competitive? Jump into their sand volleyball leagues this spring and summer. Co-ed teams, great vibes, and even better memories. Route 45 Wayside in Pasodum. Great food, live music, and fun all week long.
Think you have to settle for mediocre car insurance to save money? Think again. It's possible to get superior coverage and still save money with Erie Insurance. Customers who switched to Erie saved up to $951. It pays to compare. Switch and save with Erie.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Annual savings based on new customers surveyed in March 2022 who reported savings when switching auto insurance. Individual premiums and savings will vary.
Thanks for listening to our Stevie J Broadcasting stations as we connect with you and help you unwind. Check out the movie Air Bud for free on the new Jumbotron at Geese Memorial Stadium on August 8th, thanks to Busey Bank. U of I athletes will be signing autographs before this community event begins after 5:30 p.m. with a movie at 7 p.m. The first 150 fans who bring in school supplies can get a free popcorn. Be a part of the Fam Lee with Stevie J Broadcasting and Go Illini.
Horizon Hobbies RC Fest is coming Saturday, August 29th to Eli Field in Monticello from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. with a full day of RC excitement for those brand new to the hobby or seasoned RC enthusiasts. It's the perfect opportunity to experience everything the world of radio control has to offer. Take the controls of the Try Me flying area, the crawler course, NASCAR track and bash area, where guests of all ages can get hands-on with RC vehicles and aircrafts. Watch the incredible air shows. Discover new ways to enjoy your RC hobby with a full day of activities at Eli Field in Monticello, including the food vendors, concessions, plenty of opportunities to fly, drive, crawl, and explore, and check out the deals at the on-site hobby store. Saturday, August 29th at Eli Field in Monticello from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Fly it, drive it, crawl it, live it. Visit HorizonRCFest.com.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
I'm John Rooney. Last night, J.J. Weatherholt gave the Cardinals a lead in the fifth inning. There's a swing and a fly ball center field. That sends Grisham back. Grisham is back at the track, and the ball's off the wall. The Cardinals are going to get 2 runs out of the double by Weatherholt. That kept carrying and carrying over the head of Trent Grisham. And Weatherholt drives in, runs 42 and 43, 2-0 Cardinals with 2 outs in the 5th. He was followed by a double from Cardinal catcher Ivan Herrera, 3-0 Cardinals. The Yankees scored on a bases-loaded walk in the 6th, had opportunities to either tie or take the lead, but the Cardinal bullpen bent and did not break. The win to Palante, 12 and 6. Will Warren, the loser, 8 and 6. Riley O'Brien with his 27th save. The Cardinals went 3 and 3 on their road trip through Toronto and New York, and will play Colorado at home tomorrow night at 7:15.
Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair is offering 50% off labor on qualifying projects. If you're seeing cracks, leaks, or sinking concrete around your home, don't wait. Let the Helitech experts identify the problem and provide proven solutions to protect your home and your investment. Call Helitech or visit helitechonline.com to schedule your free inspection today.
Heal your home with Helitech.
Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Hope you're having a fantastic Friday. Appreciate you spending some time with us. ESPN Radio 93.5. It is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. And before we hop back on here, you heard the Redbird recap from yesterday. Cardinals take 2 of 3 from the Yankees. Trying to get back to 500 tonight. You can hear Cardinals baseball here on ESPN 93.5. If you're looking for the Cubs, you can find them on our sister station, US 105.9. And our next guest, he covers the Cubs for Shy City Sports. Looking forward to talking with this gentleman for quite a while. Please welcome Alex Pat to The Drive. Alex, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. How you doing?
We're doing great here. Evan, are you doing good over there?
Yeah, because the Cubs are rolling. They stole the game yesterday.
There
they
he
should
goes.
be put in prison for that win.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I mean, that kind of defined the craziness of this whole season.
Well, let's get into that, Alex. Let's just start there. This has been, in a word, it's been a crazy season for the Cubs, but I guess I wouldn't expect anything less. You come out white hot, as they did back in April and May, and then an incredible slump, and the Central felt like it was there for the taking. And now it seems like it's the Brewers with the Cubs nipping at their heels and nobody else. Let's start with the trade deadline. How would you grade what the Cubs did at the trade deadline? Essentially, I've joked about this, bringing in 4 new arms to be a whole new rotation for you.
Yeah, I think I would grade it pretty high. It's kind of in that B+, A- range because you were very aggressive this year, and I think a lot of people would tell you that they were very disappointed last year when you were hoping for something bigger at that deadline, and you ended up with Mike Soroka and Andrew Kittredge and Willie Castro. Obviously, that was a very tough market to buy at that time, but this year, Jed went bolder. He made some really big moves and some that maybe seem as a risk, and you know what? That's kind of what you have to do, but you were able to get a pair of arms, some under control, some rental. I mean, the one rental you got in Kevin Gausman, that was kind of your prized possession because that's a guy you plug in right to your rotation, and you know he's going to be pitching in October, assuming that they do get there. But you also took on some kind of interesting projects as well, like Garrett from the Marlins. That could be a guy that helps you a little bit now and helps you even more down the road. And, the Clay Holmes trade was also very interesting because you got a utility guy in there as well in Tyrone Taylor who can hit lefties very, very well. So you address kind of a weakness that you have in the outfield right now because Ian Happ, as much as I like the guy, he's struggled against left-handed pitching this year. So you get something to supplement that. Clay Holmes, a big ground ball guy, and, I've said before, if you're not going to get a big bat misser, then get a ground ball guy, because the Cubs have had an abundance of fly ball pitchers over the past few years, and you have a great defense on the infield. I mean, up the middle, you have Nico Horner and Dansby Swanson, so adding more ground ball pitchers and a guy like Clay Holmes, I think that's a really, really good get. So I'm very happy with the aggressiveness. I think they identified ways they needed to improve the team. And, right now, knock on wood, assuming there's not another plethora of pitching injuries, you can now look at your pitching staff and say, okay, well, we don't have to worry about if we're going to have enough guys to even have a rotation to put together or even put a bullpen together, because I didn't even mention Ryan Zeferhan. That's a guy where you can rely on him late. He's got swing and miss stuff. The walks might drive you crazy a little bit, but you don't have to worry too much about who's going to be pitching back there, especially if we're going to get Palencia and Hobie Milner back at some point. So B+, A-, I'd say, very good trade deadline for the Cubs.
Well, and that's what I was going to say, is that what could make this trade deadline an A+ is if some of those injured guys come back and you can put them all together. And so I didn't know if you had heard anything, because I know Clay Holmes is still working his way back. It was a little goofy that you traded for a pitcher that is injured just because of everything that's happened this year. But he's working his way back. Have you heard anything on the recoveries of a Palencia, of maybe even a Steele, of a Ben Brown, of all those guys that are injured? What's the Cabrera? What's the word on those guys being able to come back for a playoff run?
Yeah, I think the hope for Palencia is sometime this month, hopefully sometime soon. And it'll be interesting to see if they put him in the closer spot right away, or they continue to roll with Jacob Webb, who's been a phenomenal story. He started off really, really poor, and then he turned it around really, really quickly. But either way, having Palencia back, another big bat mister who could throw 100 miles an hour, that's pretty big. Now, mentioning Clay Holmes, the good thing about the Clay Holmes injury is that, he's going to be ready to go here. And the injury was a fluky thing. It was on a comebacker, and, it sucks to see for them, but it's not like, oh, this is a guy who's had elbow injuries and issues over the past few years. Like a Hunter Harvey, for example, a guy I really liked. I'm glad they brought him in, even though he hasn't pitched much, because I want him in the offseason. But you look at the injury history of that guy, and it's a little different in terms of context looking at a guy like Clay Holmes, who got hurt on a freak thing, but he's going to be ready, he's going to be pitching, and he's going to be part of this rotation going forward.
ESPN Radio 93.5, it is The Drive. I'm Curtis, that's Evan. Alex Pat from Shy City Sports, on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line. It's a lot to say.
It is.
It's a lot to say.
And real quick, because I know I just want any chance of Justin Steele coming back this year.
Yeah, if he does come back, he's obviously not going to be in the rotation. I mean, I know he's working his way back. The way I see it is, regardless if he does or does not come back, he's not going to be relied on to serve a major role. I mean, he's not going to come in and be a starter. He's not going to come in and be a closer. If he does come back, sure, he'll get his appearances. But, I mean, right now, the way you look at the bullpen, as it is right now, plus projecting having, Danny Palencia back, I mean, that's really what I'm looking at here. I'm just not going to factor Justin Steele much into this at all at this point. And, it's really hard to until he actually does come back, because, the initial hope was for him to come back much earlier this year, and then he had the setback. And I'm looking forward to the potential of Justin Steele being part of this rotation in years to come. But in terms of this year, I hate to say it because I love the dude, but right now he's kind of an afterthought. I'm really focused on what we have and what's on the horizon.
Good insight, Alex. Real quick, I want to switch to the bats if we can. Can the Cubs feel like that they can count on Alex Bregman now? Has he finally, you just put out an article that he had his moment, but can they count on him going forward in your estimation?
I mean, he's looked much better over the past really month or so. I mean, he had some big series in St. Louis, Cincinnati, if you might remember. He had a pair of home runs out there. And then he hit a little bit of a slide again at home, and then he finished strong. I mean, I think that Alex Bregman is too talented of a ball player to be as bad as he had been earlier in the season. I don't know if we're really ever going to see the Alex Bregman from his prime years in Houston, but all the signs are showing you that you're going to see more of what we have wanted to see in Alex Bregman than we saw at the beginning of the year. And I have to think, just from a mental standpoint, that the moment he had hitting the game-tying home run against the Blue Jays, that is going to be a confidence booster for him. And, I mean, like I mentioned in the article, like Boog and JD mentioned on the broadcast, he finally had his Cubs moment. Because, sure, he hit some big hits on the road recently, like in St. Louis I mentioned, but he was really struggling at home in particular. Like, if you looked at his home and road splits, they were pretty dramatically different. Like, he has been hitting much better on the road this season, and it seemed like every time he'd come up in a clutch spot at home late in a game, he would pop up for a ground out, or you might remember the strikeout with the bases loaded against Kenley Jensen and the Tigers. But, I mean, the signs are looking overall much, much better for Alex Bregman, and that's going to be important. That's going to be really, really important. Pete Crow Armstrong might be the best player on the team, but you brought in Alex Bregman to be the face, the alpha of that team. And sure, Pete Crow Armstrong might be, the face to the fans and of the franchise, but in terms of being the leader, the guy that people look to, that's Alex Bregman. And you want him to be productive both on the field and in the clubhouse.
ESPN Radio 93.5, it is The Drive. I'm Curtis. That is Evan. And Alex Pat from Shy City Sports on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us. We've talked a lot about pitching, got to talk a little bit about bats. I want to go back to pitching again, Alex, because Kevin Gausman makes his debut tonight for the Cubs, and he'll be opposite, I forgot he was still in the league, Seth Lugo. And I know that is going to sound awful, but Seth Lugo, an ageless wonder in baseball, is on the bump tonight for the Royals. Expectations for Gausman going tonight?
It's always interesting when a pitcher joins a new team because it's a whole new routine. You're with a whole new group of guys. You're with a whole new group of catchers, too. And, I mean, luckily, with a guy like Kevin Gausman, he's not new to joining a new team. He's been around the league for so long, and he's worked with so many different coaches and catchers and has played with so many different guys just in general. So, it's not maybe as much of an adjustment for him, but it is still an adjustment. So he is having Carson Kelly catch him, so I think it's good to have the better of the defensive catchers, play callers, no disrespect to Amai out there, behind the dish tonight. But, it's going to be interesting because sometimes we see debuts go really well, and sometimes they don't go so well. But this is an opportunity for the Cubs. They've played some really, really tough teams recently, and I think it's a bit of a, quote, softer landing for Gausman in Kansas City than it would have if he had to pitch against the Dodgers.
Yeah. You're right. You watch some debuts that don't go well. One, Tariq Skubal. Sucker.
Yeah.
Actually, he pitched pretty well that game, but it's okay. So I came on these airwaves yesterday, and I pretty definitively said Chicago is going to win the NL Central. And some of that is because you look at the last couple of weeks for the Cubs and the organizations and the series and the teams they've played and who the Brewers have played. And the Brewers are playing a bunch of sub-500 teams. The Cubs are playing teams like the Yankees and the Dodgers, and they gained a game and a half in that series. And now it flips, and the Brewers have a tough run. And the Cubs, like you said, you're starting to play some teams that you should take care of. Am I crazy, or is that a real possibility?
I mean, it's possible. It is. And there are some people out there that will tell you that it is a decently strong possibility. The Brewers just don't lose, though. That's the thing. They just don't lose.
Yeah.
And it's hard to gain ground. Even when you're playing well, you mentioned they did gain some ground, but they still had weeks before this where the Cubs were playing well, and the Brewers just weren't losing. They just couldn't gain any ground. Now, with that said, you have a handful of games coming up against the Brewers coming up over these last 2 months. So it is going to depend on how you play them. Now, the first series of the year, it was awful for the Cubs. The Brewers trounced them at home. And then in the second series, the Cubs took 2 out of 3 in Milwaukee. and you have a big 4-gamer coming up fairly soon. So those head-to-head matchups are going to mean everything. I would say, if I were to put a percentage on it, I'd say there's a 20% chance the Cubs win the division. Now, this is just based on my opinion. It's not necessarily based on math or science or any sort of projection algorithm, but that's just kind of where I see it right now. I want to say that there is a decent enough opening for there to be a legitimate chance, but I'm not saying the chances are going to be overly great. And, I mean, look, the Brewers themselves have had some injury issues with their pitching staff, and I think a lot of people were wondering if this was the year the Brewers were going to go harder at the trade deadline, considering how many assets they do have in the farm system, and they didn't. I mean, I was worried at one point they might get Tariq Skubal, and then I said to myself, no, it's going to be the Dodgers, and sure enough, it was the Dodgers. And also, thank goodness, the Padres didn't decide to sell, because if the Brewers would have bought Mason Miller, that would have been real trouble, but they didn't. So there is an opening here. I'm not going to tell you that I think it's going to happen. I'm not going to tell you it's a great chance, but there is an opening for the Cubs to win the NL Central.
Alex, where can folks find your work? I really want them to check out the article you just put out about Bregman. I think it's a fantastic read. So where can folks follow along?
Well, thank you for that. You can find my work, my writing work, at ShyCitySports.com. I write for the Cubs. I do a little bit of Blackhawks work, and then I also host the Believe in Cubs podcast on the Believe Network. And me and my buddy Sean, we host the Bill Swirsky Sports Talk Chicago show. We've been doing that for years. We like to talk Bears on that show. So you can also check me out on Twitter at ShyFanPat2. I am posting a lot of things all the time about the Cubs, the Bears, the Blackhawks, and all sorts of fun sports things.
Okay, you bring up the Blackhawks. We got a little bit of a reunion coming up this year. Is it just for show?
No,
or does he still have something to offer?
It's for go. Tell him, Alex. It's for go, not for show.
I think that it's a little bit of both, because I do think Patrick Kane, I think he could still play. But you can't tell me there's not some sort of motivation factor when you're signing a guy who was literally the face of your franchise for nearly 2 decades. And I mean, it's not like you were one piece away from winning a Stanley Cup. This is still a rebuilding team that's trying to build towards something with a lot of young guys. And, hey, you need to sell seats when you don't have Connor Bedard on the ice, which is going to be the case until at least Thanksgiving. But I do think that they legitimately believe that Patrick Kane is going to provide some value for the team. And I don't think he's going to be, obviously like in prime Patrick Kane. He's almost 40 years old, but I think he will provide value on the ice as a player. I really do think so, and I do think they believe that.
Nice. Just keep him out of the cabs.
Stop it. That was a long time ago. Alex.
That was 2009. Yeah, long time ago.
Long time ago. Okay, we're getting closer to 20 years on that one. You don't have to bring up the old stuff, all right? Alex, we really do appreciate the time. Glad I was able to work this out with you, and let's do this again much sooner, my friend.
I would love that. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, you got it. That's Alex Pat, Shy City Sports. He covers the Cubs, the Hawks, and the Illini for them as well. And you can find him at ShyCitySports.com. That's CHI. 217-359-2255 for the Max Twin City Recycling text line. I appreciate all the texts that have rolled in regards to my birthday. You guys are very kind. Love all of you. Appreciate you very, very much. I also appreciate Evan Stone for many reasons, including positional breakdown of Illinois football. I can't wait to talk linebackers. 3-3-5, wreaking havoc all over the Big Ten. I'm going to keep saying that. I'm going to speak it into existence, Evan. All right? I've been saying it for months now. The 3-3-5, going to wreak havoc.
Okay.
And you're going to tell me why, because of the linebackers.
Okay.
All right.
I can do that.
You can do that. Next on The Drive.
Look, honey, great deal on kitchen appliances. Man, oh man, this is a can't miss opportunity. I'm getting the car keys.
Whoa, big fella. What store is this?
It's the membership store. You know, the one where you can buy 60 rolls of toilet paper shrink wrapped to a pallet?
Those memberships are expensive. What do they know about kitchen appliances?
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, you don't need a membership.
It's Paul Rican from Dick Van Dyke.
So, who gets the best deals?
Everyone. Plus, we have award-winning service to take care of you years after the sale. No membership required.
This membership store has to have service. I mean, they're so big. They sell groceries.
Nope. No service at the membership store.
You're right. No service department.
too risky to buy there.
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World gives you award-winning service from sales to install to repairs, no membership fees, and the guaranteed best deal.
Impressive. How did you find our house?
Appliance guy intuition.
Wow.
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Looking for something truly unique? Discover Sweet Petunia at the Tuscola Mall, where vintage charm meets modern style. With over 100 vendors and consigners across 16,000 square feet, you'll find antiques, collectibles, home decor, and one-of-a-kind furniture you won't see anywhere else. It's bright, clean, organized, and surprisingly affordable. From timeless treasures to seasonal finds, there's always something new waiting for you. Come explore Sweet Petunia in the Tuscola Mall. Your next favorite piece is already here.
Life is short, so why not put dessert first? At Dessert First, every day starts sweet with a delicious morning menu featuring fresh muffins, gooey cinnamon rolls, and homemade pastries. And in the afternoon, it only gets better with cookies, brownies, and rotating treats that change weekly. Got a special occasion coming up? Dessert First has you covered with custom orders including cupcakes, pies, cakes, and cookies made just the way you want them. Treat yourself today because you deserve it. Find Dessert First on Facebook for store hours and more details.
Time to sign your child up for Urbana Park District Youth Soccer this fall. Youth Soccer is for kids from preschool up through 9th grade. Soccer starts August 17th and runs to mid-October at various locations in Urbana. Practice after school during the week and play games on Saturday. Youth Soccer helps kids learn rules, sportsmanship, teamwork, and soccer drills. Call 217-255-8601 for more information. Sign up for Youth Soccer by phone or at urbanaparks.org. All abilities are welcome to youth soccer this fall at Urbana Park District. Crisis Nursery and Deuce Construction are excited to invite you to the free Touch a Truck event. Families with children of all ages are welcome to come to Carl at the Fields Saturday, August 22nd from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The first hour of this event, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., will be dedicated to friends who are sensitive to sound and light. Once again, Stevie J Broadcasting is inviting you to the Touch a Truck event from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on August 22nd at Carl at the Field, 3310 Field South Drive, Champaign in the North parking lot. For more information, visit crisisnursery.net.
Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
I knew the button would work. ESPN Radio 93.5. It is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. Hope you're having a great Friday. Thanks again to Alex Pat from Shy City Sports for hopping on with us and talking some Cubs and NL Central. Also, the great one, Kyle Tosk, going to be with us about an hour from now. Looking forward to that. And then later on tonight, Cardinals baseball after we're done here on The Drive. Pre-game 6:20. I have that note in front of me, so I know I'm not lying, sir. I wrote it down.
Nice.
How you doing over there, Evan Stone?
I'm doing good. I just ate some chips during the break, and now they're like stuck in my...
What kind of chips you got?
I got the Casey's Backyard Barbecue.
Oh, good.
I'm kind of falling in love with these things.
Casey's has got some pretty underrated chips, man.
Yeah.
They really do have some good chips at Casey's.
Yeah, and they keep the price down.
They do. They try to, you know. Who can handle that, these prices in this economy?
Did you hear her?
What did she say?
She said, my daughter, just mouthful of chips. They are good.
They're good. Nom, 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 nom.
You know who else I think is going to be good?
Who do you think is going to be good, Evan?
I think these Illinois linebackers are going to be good this year.
Yes, sir.
And I'm very, very excited to see...
To see what? To see who? To see when? What are you excited for?
I'm excited to see these Illinois linebackers.
Do what?
I think this system is going to be... Listen, let's be honest. There's going to be learning curves. I think there's going to be some growing pains. I think there's going to be moments of, okay, we might see the system for what it is, but you can't perfectly recruit to a new system in one off season, right? Like
that's fair. Yeah.
There's going to be tweeners. There's going to be stuff. Maybe now more than ever, you can do it faster than you have been able in the past. But I think we had some guys on the roster that are actually really going to fit this 3-3-5, whatever variation they use, really well. So when you look at our linebacker crew and you think about, okay, who are the names that are here, that have been here, you think first and foremost probably of James Kreutz.
Yep.
So James Kreutz, 6'2", 235. He is a senior. He's been all over the field multiple different years. He's been kind of a stand-in, a fill-in. Last year, maybe more than in the past, with Dylan Rosiaks and his health issues, and he missed a couple of games. And you see James come in, and the effort has always been there. He's got that Kreutz mentality that we talked about with his brother Josh. He's got that nastiness that I can't wait to see, like, just unleashed in a linebacker role. I think what I want to see from him this year is just learning to react and not think. Just go. Just do what you need to do.
Trust your instincts and play.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to find Kreutz kind of he had been in the previous system more of a central middle linebacker role. I think we're going to see him more out wide. One of the outside linebackers, they'll roll him up to the line. They'll be able to do different things with him. He can cover some space. And so I think James Kreutz is going to fit this system a lot better than he fit the previous system.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see that. You then also have Daniel Brown. And Jay Lehman on these airwaves on Tuesday said, I'm excited to see Daniel Brown. He's always been a bit of a tweener. Is he a defensive end? Is he a rush edge? Is he a linebacker? Where does he fit?
He fits that. If we're calling the 3-3-5, they have it was Jack. Is that what we were talking about? The third linebacker position, or what?
Yeah.
There's a couple of different names that have been used for it.
I'm gonna be honest. The Jack phrase has just started popping up recently.
Yeah.
So I've not done a ton of.
You haven't gone too deep down the Jack rabbit hole.
No.
See what I did there, Jack rabbit hole?
Yeah. That Jack hole I've stayed out of.
Yeah, you stay out of the Jack hole
so far. But I did more into the Chief all summer and spring.
Yeah.
But the Jack, I feel like, is just kind of being elevated now. And I think that's kind of, okay, you had spring ball, you've had summer workouts, and you're seeing who you have and the positions that you have, and you're getting creative with them. And I believe that the Jack role is part of that. But yeah, Daniel Brown, I mean, he's
kind of fits that mold.
Yes,
Yeah.
we know that Daniel Brown is an elite pass rusher at getting after the quarterback. That's what he did in JUCO. He was the number one linebacker coming out of JUCO. He had 18 sacks in 11 games. I mean, that's insane. But even beyond that, 18 sacks in 11 games, but he also had 23 tackles for a loss and 13 quarterback hurries. So he's in the backfield at JUCO. Now he comes up to a couple of years here in Big Ten ball. He's had some injuries. He's had some things that have held him back just a little bit.
Sure. Yeah.
But he's maybe a little bit small on the edge to get after the quarterback like that on a down-to-down basis because he's only 6'1", listed at 6'1". He might be a little shorter than that.
Are you suggesting that coaches lie on the stat sheet about how tall or big their players are?
I would never suggest anything of the sort.
No.
I know that when I played basketball in college, they listed me at 6'5".
You're not 6'5"? I thought you were 6'5" legitimately.
I am not, even in shoes or my heels. I'm not in 6'5". Anyways, Daniel Brown is athletic. He's twitchy, and I think this fits him perfectly. Getting him off the line, getting him roaming a little bit more, and then when it calls for it, send him. Go. Pin your ears back. Go get something. I'm really excited for Daniel Brown. He'll be maybe more in that central role. We'll see how that works out.
When you look at Brown, Bierman, and Kreutz, because those are the three guys, right? Most likely.
Well,
all right. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Go on.
Well,
Go ahead. I don't want to
think
steal your spot.
Once again, I'm not sure we can Sharpie anything at this time, but if I was to Sharpie something, you're right. I think James Kreutz and Daniel Brown are kind of locked in here.
Yeah.
There's been some interesting names floating around for maybe who pops into that third spot. Because Grant Bierman he's 6'5", 235 pounds. He's a sophomore. He was on mainly special teams last year and was a stud, flying all over the field.
He felt like for this year, he's a sophomore, correct? True sophomore, right?
True sophomore.
Yeah, it just feels like this is an opportunity for a young playmaker. Like, I just felt like he would be the guy that you would see slide into that role. But go on then.
But I've heard really good things about Robert Edmondson. He's the transfer from Colorado State that they have brought in. 6'2", 230. He is a junior, and last year on an horrible Colorado State team, he had 49 tackles, 6 quarterback hurries, a pick, a sack. I've heard that he might be more of that go-to role in that third linebacker spot. Now, all this to say, and we said this with defensive line yesterday, just because someone gets the starter role the first series, you're going to see a lot of these guys in and out. They're going to be rotating them. Mm-hmm. They're going to be keeping them fresh. So I think if I were, hand to the fire right now, I'd go James Kreutz, Daniel Brown, and Robert Edmondson.
Okay.
I was high on Will Holmes, but as we talked about yesterday, they moved him back to defensive line.
Yep.
And in that switch, another name that we have not talked about a lot recently, he's a senior. Injuries have kind of held him back. Mason Murrigan. And Mason Murrigan, they moved from the defensive line to linebacker. So they kind of did a little trade there.
Yeah.
And he's nasty, tenacious. They like him a lot right now, so you might see him out there. And then there's a freshman class. Actually, don't let me get ahead of myself.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Last name that I think is going to be fascinating to watch this year, this system fits perfectly, is Ishmael Conte. So Ishmael Conte was a JUCO who came in last year. He did a lot of special teams, a lot of situational play last year. He pops back into the linebacker role. When in JUCO, he had 71 tackles, 9.5 tackles for loss, four sacks. He's a senior from Minnesota. Fun fact. He's from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota.
Why did you question if that was a fun fact or not?
Well, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota is where my dad died.
Oh, well, jeez, Evan.
So I just, we got that in common.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
So, yeah, I got to talk to Ishmael about that one time.
Don't make it awkward with Ishmael.
At the Holiday Inn in Brooklyn Park.
Come on now.
So, then...
You know what? Ishmael had a birthday party at that Holiday Inn. Don't do that.
I won't do that to him.
Okay.
But then you bring in the freshman the freshman recruits that have come in. I'm so excited. Jacob Alexander.
You are very high on the freshman class. You've mentioned this before.
Jacob Alexander has come in. He was a 3-star, picked Illinois over a host of schools: Cincinnati, Kansas, Kansas State, Michigan State, Minnesota, Mizzou, Nebraska, Purdue, Rutgers, Wisconsin. And he comes out of Lincoln Way East. He's 6'4", 245 pounds. And I think situationally, these freshman guys you have, I mean, you can put some of these guys in there and just say, have fun.
Well, and that's the interesting part of what Bielema has presented to fans and to the Big Ten as to the goal of this new defense. I say new, but the 3-3-5 has been around, but the whole point is with the recruits that have come in, they need to be guys that can fit the mold for this defense. You're planning on this being a long-term thing. You're not planning on this being we're going to do this for a year and then we'll go back to a cover 2 base or something like that. This is So the recruits, we've talked about this with other people on the show. The recruitment is going to change a little bit, maybe as to what you might expect Illinois has traditionally brought in. They want football players. I know that's a blanket statement, right?
Yeah.
But you got somebody that's 6'4", 245, and you can rotate in and out with 3 or 4 other guys in that same mold. That's the goal here.
Well, and you can see what they're doing.
Yeah.
When you look at some of the transfers, but also the freshman class that they brought in, if you look at the guys who have been here, James Kreutz, 6'2", 235, Ishmael Conte, 6'2", 235, Daniel Brown, 6'1", 255. Now you look at the freshmen, and you look at a Jacob Alexander, 6'4", 245.
There you go. Yeah.
You bring in a Robert Edmondson, who's 6'3", 230. Like, you're starting to see some length. The Mason Murrigan, who's got some size, got size to it with him too.
Yep.
And then more in that maybe central role, you got a Caden Bennett, who's a freshman coming in. He's from Connecticut. He was a 4-star recruit, the number 1 player in Connecticut. He's 6'1", 230, so not so much on the edges. But a Cam Thomas, who was a 4-star, the number 19 player out of Ohio, his senior year, or in his high school career, his last 2 years, he had 211 tackles, 40 tackles for a loss, and 16 sacks in Ohio. He was teammates with Grant Bierman in high school, and so they know each other really well. And then, just Tony Williams popping up, who's a 3-star, but in 2 years of high school, he's only played 2 years of high school ball, 152 tackles and 22 tackles for a loss.
A lot of people in Champaign are high on that young man. A lot of people are excited about him coming to Champaign.
Yeah.
So.
And then the last name I'll throw out there, freshman Jalen Stewart, 6'2", 235, 17 sacks his senior year, chose Illinois over Baylor, Kansas, Houston, USC, Auburn, Utah, Arizona, and Texas. Yeah, I'm really high on these linebackers, and the reason I'm really high on these linebackers is because of how I think they can be multiple and dare I say random with this linebacking crew. In the way that they can roll them up to the line, the way that they can cover space in the field, the way that they can get after the passer, the way that you can rotate them in and out and keep them fresh, but you can bring in different bodies that can do a lot of the same things, so you don't lose a lot. Now, at the end of the day, like I said to begin this, very early on, there's going to be growing pains. There's going to be a learning curve. There's going to be trying to figure out. I heard Coach Bielema say the other day or two, the idea of, all spring ball, they were repping this 3-3-5 against their offense, and now going into camp, they've stopped doing. It's a lot more of the scout team that are coming in, and I think a lot of that was because I don't know how much our offense is growing against this 3-3-5 because they're not going to see this very often during the season, and so they had to kind of switch that up. Ooh, I hiccuped.
Well, I didn't have to hit the button, but I can.
No, not for a hiccup.
Yeah, it's my birthday.
You have no manners.
All right, continue.
No, I like what Matt and Sydney says. I feel Coach B is trying to find a way to win without 5-star players, and that gives me hope that we have that good of a coach. You have to win to get the top players, but if you don't win, they won't come, so which comes first, the chicken or the egg? I mean, that is the age-old, Zook was like, hey, I got the players, but then the wins didn't come, so the players stopped coming. But he was a recruiter first. So now I do feel like a little bit with Coach B, and I think Coach B is a great recruiter. I mean, just knowing him, his personality and how he relates with people. But I think he's a better coach than he is a recruiter, and the wins were piling up maybe before a lot of people thought they would. And now you're starting to see you're getting a little fresh on the defensive side, and you're starting to see some guys who are like, I want to try that. So I'm really excited about this linebacker crew. Once again, if I were to Sharpie anything, it'd be James Kreutz and Daniel Brown. If I was to, what did I say the other day? Crayola. Anything,
you said you were going to Crayola a couple.
It'd be a mixture of Robert Edmondson, Mason Murrigan, Grant Bierman, Ishmael Conte. I think all those guys are going to see a lot of play this season.
There's your names, 217-359-2255 for the Max Twin City Recycling text line. Appreciate the text rolling in. Appreciate you spending some time with us. Good stuff, Evan Stone. And we'll continue our positional breakdown of Illinois football next week on Monday. We'll be back at it, sticking to the defensive side of the ball. We're working our way back. That means we got to get into the secondary next week.
We can do corners because we did safeties a month ago. We'll touch on them again.
Yeah.
But I just got a notification. This just in. Nothing major. Nothing major. Not breaking news. But Big Ten voted this week to expand football travel rosters to 80 from 74. So that's an extra 6 guys that you can bring. And I really love that because of this 5-for-5. That now you're no longer redshirting people.
Right.
And so you don't have to worry. They get 5 years. You don't have to worry about, hey, we want to get these guys some run, but we don't want to burn a red shirt. We don't have to worry about that anymore. So now you can bring some extra guys on the road, which I love, and you can start rotating even more guys out if there's a blowout one way or the other. You just want to get them special teams access. Like I like the rule.
Yeah, good opportunity there. 217-359-2255. Do a little preview of Cardinals baseball and our Friday toast coming up next on The Drive.
So tell me more about the Nectar mattress.
So Nectar is the #1 online selling mattress, and it is all foam. It has strong pressure relief, motion isolation, cooling, and edge support. It's amazing if you're a side or a back sleeper. You get a 365-night trial, a lifetime warranty, and free shipping. And Diane, we have been here now 20 years. So this year's our 20th anniversary of our Ashley store in Champaign. We've been at the same place all 20 years, 602 West Anthony Drive.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
Hey golf cart shoppers, tired of the same old golf cart shopping experience? Come over to Midwest Carts in Tuscola, Illinois, where customers rave about unbeatable pricing, massive selection, and full service done right. As the largest Denago golf cart dealer in Illinois, they've got premium new models plus 20 to 30 quality used carts ready to roll at any time. And the best part? Free delivery on new carts anywhere in Illinois or Indiana. Midwest Carts, Tuscola, Illinois. Find them at mwcarts.com.
When your vehicle needs expert care, trust 3C's Automotive Repair in Camargo. From cars and trucks to semis, they do it all, including hydraulic repairs with 7 clean professional service bays. Roadside assistance is available, and if your repair takes a little longer, enjoy a courtesy ride within 15 miles or relax next door at the Roadrunner station. Experience great service with a small town feel at the corner of Route 136 and Route 130 in Camargo. Call 3C's Automotive Repair at 217-832-2706.
Time to sign your child up for Urbana Park District Youth Soccer this fall. Youth Soccer is for kids from preschool up through 9th grade. Soccer starts August 17th and runs to mid-October at various locations in Urbana. Practice after school during the week and play games on Saturday. Youth Soccer helps kids learn rules, sportsmanship, teamwork, and soccer drills. Call 217-255-8601 for more information. Sign up for Youth Soccer by phone or at urbanaparks.org. All abilities are welcome to Youth Soccer this fall at Urbana Park District.
BMW, Buick, GMC, Honda, and Subaru. Welcome to Sarah Champagne. We can handle all your car repairs on site, including paintless dent repair, bumpers, windshields, everything in between. We have an amazing selection of new or pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Shop from home and buy online or reserve your vehicle before it hits our website or dealership. Sarah Champagne is home of the Sarah One Price Promise, delivering an honest and transparent buying experience. Hurry in or shop online at sarahchampagne.com.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Yes, sir. ESPN Radio 93.5. It is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. Cardinals baseball on the way this evening. 7:15, first pitch. Pre-game starts just after 6. So after we're done here on The Drive. Kyle Leahy on the bump tonight for the Cardinals. Trying to get back to 500 against... Oh, awful. They're awful. The Rockies are awful. I have nothing nice to say about the Rockies. I like the Mountains, but the baseball team, terrible. Lineup just announced for the Cardinals as well. Weatherholt's going to lead off. Jordan Walker in the 2 spot tonight. Burley will be batting 3rd. Von Herrera DHing at 4. Jimmy Crooks will be behind the plate, hitting 5th. Mason Wynn 6th. Nathan Church 7th. Brian Torres 8th. And Cesar Prieto 9th. Again, Leahy on the bump. So, having said all that, here's an opportunity, again, against an awful, terrible Rockies team for the Birds to continue their winning ways. Because that's what I'm calling it, winning ways. I know they're under 500 right now, Evan Stone. And I know you're dancing on the grave. You're so happy over there, Mr. Cub. I know.
No, I told you I have called a truce.
Oh, yeah, because of the Brewers. We hate the Brewers.
We hate the Brewers.
Yeah. Going after the Brewers. That's
hate
fine.
the Brewers.
Yeah, we hate those guys. Bums.
Yeah.
But yeah, Leahy on the bump tonight for the Cardinals, as I mentioned. And again, good opportunity to just get another win. Get another W at home on a Friday night at Busch Stadium. Live on ESPN 93.5. I'm going to keep selling it if you want me to.
You're doing a great job.
I'm trying.
It's a bummer there. Well, not a bummer. Sorry.
You were about to say something. This is a couple times.
I was going to say it's a bummer they're in St. Louis and at Busch Stadium, but because if you go to Coors Field,
yeah,
I love that stadium.
Never been.
I've
always wanted to.
Been to quite a few games there from when we lived out in Colorado, and I mean, first of all, it's easy to get tickets. They're cheap because nobody's ever out there. I'm telling you, I went to a Cubs-Rockies game out there, and it was 80% Cubs fans.
I believe that.
And
I believe that completely.
One cool thing they have is they've really worked to make it a family park. And so they have a giant like kids playground right in center field that all these kids are out there playing, and all the parents just kind of, you can stand there at this railing while they're playing, and you can see the whole game. So it's just kids playing in a playground and a bunch of dads with their beers and brats, and they're just standing there talking, watching the game. I'm like, that's so cool.
That's nice. They did that for us. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
You don't see that at Wrigley, my friend.
No, you see a pole.
Yeah, there's some poles and some signs, some trains back there as well, some apartments, but no bounce houses for the kids.
Nope. No.
When I went to the minor league game out in Vermont and watched the Vermont Lake Monsters, who, by the way, are in the postseason. They're hosting a playoff series out there in Vermont. Shout out to the Lake Monsters.
Happy for them.
They had an incredible bounce house setup for the kids. And I was like, oh, this is wonderful. Affordable minor league baseball tickets. I totally just bring my kiddos out here and turn them loose and eat these 25-cent hot dogs. It was wonderful. Cubs back at it tonight. And again, Kevin Gossman makes his debut. 7:10 first pitch, 6:10 pregame on our sister station, US 105.9. PCA going to lead off. Say on the 2 spot. Bregman 3, Bush 4, Horner 5, Happ 6. Carson Kelly, 7, Pedro Ramirez DHing 8, and Dansby Swanson all the way down in the 9 spot. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah.
You happy about that? I know you hate Dansby for some reason.
Oh, my gosh, I don't hate Dansby.
You and Quinn just going off about poor Dansby Swanson.
No, it's just, you know how it is. When a guy gets in a batting slump, and it just drives you insane. You're like, it's just so many Dansby games where he's 0 for 4, 0 for 4, 0 for 4. However, defensively, he's one of, if not the best shortstops in baseball. So, yeah, I mean, it comes with it. Sorry, I was over here trying to do math.
Yeah, I noticed you kept counting on your fingers. What were you doing?
I was counting on my fingers a lot.
What are you doing over there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
What are you counting?
Well, here's what I noticed that Coach Bielema is getting ready to go in. This is his 6th season as Illinois football coach. Do you know where that puts him on the list of longest tenured Illinois football coaches?
Gosh, how many have they had in history? All right, I'm going to say 5th. 5th all time in tenure. Because Zook had 6 years, didn't he? You're still counting. You're asking me the question. You don't know the answer to your own question.
No. That puts him 7th.
So I was close. I said, what did I say, 6th?
You said 6th.
Yeah, I was close.
That puts him 7th. Ron Zook had 7 seasons.
Okay. I was going to say, he's right there with Zookmeister.
So right now, which is just, it's wild to think about that Coach B is the 7th longest tenured coach in Illinois football history.
Who's he going to pass with his contract if you're looking at it right now? So we got the extension.
Everybody except for Ray Elliott, who was here for 18 seasons, and Coach Zupke, who was here for 29 seasons.
Yeah, I know. Nobody will catch Zupke.
Nobody will catch Zupke.
Well, never say never, but I don't see a world that I'll be around
for. Never say never.
I don't think I'll be here for anybody to catch Zupke. Yeah.
But then the flip side of that is, okay, he's the 7th longest tenured. He has 37 wins.
So
that puts him 4th on the list.
All-time wins?
All-time wins.
Who's next? Who's after? Or who's 3rd?
Mike White. In 8 years.
Well, it's got to be the top three coaches then that everybody talks about.
Well,
But
yeah.
duh,
So in
duh.
8 years, Mike White, 47 wins, and then Ray Elliott Zupke because of the amount of time.
yeah.
But he's got in technically 5 seasons. This is going to be his 6th season. In 5 seasons, he has 3 more wins than Zook in 2 fewer seasons, and 2 more wins than Turner in 3 fewer seasons. And 3 fewer seasons, he needs 10 wins to catch up with Mike White.
10 wins, that's it?
That's this year.
That's this year.
That's
Evans.
this year,
Man
baby.
of the people. Right there.
I want people to recognize what Coach B has done here. And
Who did we just talk to that said they could get 10? Or was that you that said that?
I said they can get 10.
Why? Okay. All right. Go on. Sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
I'm just saying, I think it's not crazy to say like he's already one of the greatest coaches in Illinois